Well, hello and welcome back to, would you believe it, a decluttering vlog. I know, I haven't done one for ages, but I decided that I really need to go through sort of like everything in the house and just get rid of the things I'm not using, that I have that are excess, etc. If that's the sort of thing that you enjoy, then stick around and we'll start sorting out my Monica closet study, you know, from Friends, where everything gets shoved when I need somewhere to put it. This is where it all happens.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that.
So let's start with what I've got here. Well, doesn't look too bad, does it? No. It's just my fan, some books that I sorted through this morning looking for something else that I didn't find, which is what started me on this trek. You know, and then bookshelves. And that's fine too, isn't it? And then, oh yes, the file boxes. That's where I was looking for that piece of paper that I still haven't found. And a few excess things that are on this bookshelf, which is meant to be emptied and for sale. Okay? But it's still got sewing boxes on it, and it's got bits and pieces of this and that on it. Okay? It's a really nice bookcase, actually. It's solid wood, and, you know, just, I don't need it. If I have something, I will put things on it, in it, and make use of it, and I don't need it. And then you see, I can pretend that I've put them away. But yes, you might have spotted it out of the corner of your eye. This is the pile. This is... I've been through my winter clothes, bringing out my winter clothes, because it's chilly here in Melbourne now. We're in autumn going into winter, and it feels like a crisp wintry day today. So these are my excess to requirement clothes that I'm going to put up for sale on, I think, either Facebook Marketplace or Poshmark. I'm not sure yet. Let me have a think about that. You know, there's a bag there. There's a nice little cashmere jumper that I do not wear. Another nice little bag, all sorts of things in here. Some bike riding gear. I haven't had a bike for a couple of years, but these are virtually brand new. They were, and then a jacket that I haven't worn, a gorgeous, I'll show you anyway as I take photos of them, because, you know, that's one of the things I need to do. I will show you. Then we come over here, and I've got my little desk and my Big Mac, which is now at the point where it still works really well, but it doesn't update anymore. Then we've got, some more boxes, and wait for it. Yes, the corner. I have an ottoman. Not sure, don't want to get rid of it, but, you know, I really am not using it, but I love it. My yoga mat, a photograph of my kids, or my son and his wife, and they're getting married, that I have, which is just lovely, and we'll go back to them as soon as they eventually come back from Africa. Don't go into that one. And then I have my sewing machine. Some of the vacuum bags that all of those clothes came out of. Then I have some toys for whenever I have a small person visiting, and a pile of craft stuff, you know, the craft things that maybe I'll do in winter, and some sewing that I was going to do but didn't quite get round to this summer. But yeah, and then in here, more craft things, books, and some space. You see, I need to use that. And over here, I didn't go into this. This is my this is the printer station, and, you know, I mean, it's basically organised, but a bit untidy. I'm sure that there are some cables I can get rid of. Oh God, don't even talk about that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in this left-hand corner. You know, this is what I would tell you. Hey, Deirdre, how do you go about, you know, setting out and doing a declutter and a, you know, reorganization? And that's the thing. When you've downsized, I can't put you down so I'm not holding you up all the time. Okay, sorry, apologies there if anybody gets a bit seasick when I did that. When you downsize, it's not a once and done. It's a bit like when people say, you know, that they do that big minimalist clear out and that's it. No, this is not a once and done. This is called living happens, stuff comes in, and I always, years ago, long before all of this was talked about, I had a 1 and 2 out policy. Didn't always do it though, did I? It was a good idea. 1 and 2 out does sort of help you to gradually declutter. But the thing is that when you downsize, and you're in a smaller space and you go, okay, well, okay, let's just grab something as an example. Okay, here's something. Okay, it's a really cool little Art Deco candlestick. And it's got, you know, particularly nice at Christmas. I've got little tiny red candles that go in it. You can get tiny white ones, whatever you like. It's cool. I like it. I don't want to get rid of it. And in a pre-downsized home, you go, well, you don't have to. You just put it away until you need it again or want to use it again. But in a downsized home, you go, I don't have somewhere really to put it unless I clear out something that I've got currently that I could get rid of and make space for it. Because space, it's like living on a ship, or, you know, that people who live on yachts and every little bit of storage counts. People who live in RVs, that's the classic. Obviously they're much smaller than my home, but in an RV, every possession has got to have a designated spot to go in. And, you know, I've watched people assessing how much things weigh. Literally, oh, we changed out the door handles in the kitchen because these ones were lighter. I'm thinking, whoa, I hadn't even thought of that. Now, obviously, I'm living in a house. Oh, sorry, it's the size of a small house. It's a 1960s apartment. And so that isn't quite where I need to be. But I do like to be organised, and I do need to get rid of things. So let's stop the chatter and get moving. Right, I'm set up, organised, semi-organised here. I'm cold, but I'll warm up as I get going. And hence I'm all rugged up. But it's just cold hands, not cold heart, just cold hands. And yeah, so I'm going to get started in here. So I just found something that is actually a mark I need to fix. So my wet printer station is actually really good. It's just a couple of IKEA cabinets that I screwed together and put the wheels on, the little roller wheels, and it works really well. Stores all that stuff and a bit else besides of that sort of stationary stuff, and makes it easy to just run anything off on the printer. So let's get in here and see what I can get into and get rid of, and at least reacquaint myself with, because in the end, I don't know, I can't be the only one. I need to reacquaint myself with things that I have, and I go, oh, that's right, I've already got that, thought of that, done that, whatever. And it does happen like that sometimes. Now, this is my little box for my little Canon sprocket. Is it a sprocket? No, it's a selfie. And I'm actually going to leave this out and have a little play with it later on, because I haven't been using it. It's for those of you who don't know, it's one of these small photo printers, and it's really cute, works really well. Here's the paper. I've got everything here. I just need to, once again, as I say, it's like reacquainting myself with it and just print off some of the things that I enjoy along the way. But you know what? I don't know if this happens to you. I sort of need to, if I haven't done it for a while, sorry, you were down a bit, but if I haven't done something for a while, I forget how to do it. I go, oh, how did I do that again? Anyway, so that's something, I should just probably put it back, shouldn't I? Because I know that everything I need for it is right in this tray and it's ready to go. So I'll just slot that one back in and get out the next level. Plastic, bubble wrap. Oh, I know, this is, okay, see, things have a purpose. This is, it's like a hood for my ring light to stop it being quite so glary, even though I can adjust it. This actually works a bit like, you'll often see lights covered with tissue. That's what that's for, so it has a purpose. Fun with knots. I must have been trying to teach somebody how to tie knots, probably myself at some point. So that's going back from a long time ago. That's from Scouts Canada, which my kids never belonged to. They were American Boy Scouts and Australian Boy Scouts, but not Canadian. Now, this is the grim part over here. This is a bit grim. You know when you have pets and you get them cremated? This is Harley. Hello Harley, he was my darling first golden retriever. And you see, dogs take up more space than cats. Here's my second one. and that's Molly, and this is my beloved Mr. Fitz. Pretty much the same. It'll take you through. I think I might have to leave that one in. That's my cat leaping onto my shoulder. Meet Mr. Fitz. He's a bit peeved because it's very hot outside today. Beloved Mr. Fitz. Okay, now my son wants these to one day. This is a bit grim, isn't it? Okay, I need to talk to you about this. Okay, my son has always said that they will go with me. And that we'll all be together one day. And so I have them, because what else do you do with them? And I mean, we love these animals. They were so much part of our lives. They were family members, and that's that. So what can I say? They stay because I don't know what else to do with them, and my son is determined that one day, in about 30 years time, when he gets the same thing done with me, that they will go with me to wherever I end up being, but we'll all go together. So there you are. No, this is not Swedish death cleaning 101. A friend of mine, when I said I was going to do this, she said, oh, that's called Swedish death cleaning. And I went, oh, I've gone right off it now. No, this is not Swedish death cleaning. I'm not preparing for anything dramatic. This is simply me doing a bit of a tidy up. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. The remains of the family, the fur babies, they just get to stay right there. Now, can you see what I've just done? I've just put this shelf right up, and that means that toys for small people who come to visit, those blocks fit right in there at the back. That's perfect. Okay, so this cupboard is done. So I've got my little selfie printer in here that I'm going to get out. I've got some generic sort of cutting things, stationery oriented things in here. I've managed to fit the little toys and things for small children in there. The fur babies in their slightly reduced form in there. I have a gap. Look, maybe a trip to IKEA and just pick up an extra shelf would be handy. And I've got stationery up here, and in this little box, it's where I put extra print cartridges. I just did one slight change. I put these on a tray, but it means that it acts like a little drawer. I can just pull it in and out. Very easy. Okay, so how am I going? Look, I've done a bit of a reshuffle up here, just tidying. These are mostly children's things that will one day, when either of my sons move into a house as opposed to an apartment, these will go to them. And these were my childhood books, and you know, it's on a favourite little slide bookcase that I have, and a few other things that, no, I haven't just reorganised these yet, but these are the sorts of things that get kept. Well, I have been out, I had a couple of things I had to do, and now I'm back, and I just want to finish off. I'll show you. See, this is going okay. This is all right. You know, I got sort of everything pretty much tidy in these cubbies. And as I said, this is not about being a minimalist. This is just simply decluttering things that I no longer need, or at some point will want, or anything that I still, you know, need, love, use, whatever. Doesn't really matter to anyone else what I have. It's simply that I wanted to sort it all out. So I've got a couple of gaps here because I have 3 sort of file boxes sitting here, and down here I have a pile of notebooks that I have to go through. So I'm just going to sit down here and sort those. Now, there's more. Don't worry, there's more. And I'm going to try and go really quickly and get these. So I've got these done. So I'll have done that whole side today.
I can't let you go, baby.
And this was the home of my former husband. I've kept it because it was my mother-in-law's delight, and it was put in a magazine after the house was sold. Some people who bought it, how about this for a cheek? The people who bought it put it into, hang on, I'll tell you this as a story. It is, I don't know, I just think it's a bit of a cheek. Okay, mother-in-law was an astonishing gardener, really wonderful gardener, and taught me so much. But she was a very, very reserved, very private person. There's no way she'd have opened her home, her garden, to the public. She wouldn't have wanted to do that. She couldn't have managed that. So that's fine. The house was sold, and within a couple of weeks, it had been entered into a garden competition, and it won. And the people who were now the owners did not mention that they had not created this garden. They didn't even say it wasn't their garden. Because I'm sorry, this was a 40-year labour of love, and they acted like it was their 40-year labour of love. Well, fine, they had physically and financially, they're now, they owned it. But really, who does that? Anyway, because of that, it's a visit to these people's garden. It was in a New Zealand magazine, and because of that, I mean, right down to the little greenhouse that was rescued from the geography department. I mean, seriously, what sort of people claim that something like this is theirs when they've owned it for 5 minutes? I mean, almost literally, not quite, maybe a month, maybe less. Anyway, I wrote a letter to the magazine, pointed out that it's lovely to see it being shared, because it was an astonishing garden, and it was my mother-in-law's garden, and she worked so hard on it, and it was the love of her life, and well, not quite, but anyway, yeah, she loved it. So yes, here's one for you, Stephanie. That was a good one. I did manage to at least make the current owners, or then current owners, feel a little bit sheepish, I hope.
No, 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 no. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me started, I just can't stop.
Well, there we go. I have finished one side. I've done the left-hand side of this room. Have I got rid of much? I've got rid of rubbish, but other things I've sort of got reacquainted with, but also things that, that can go at some point, but, COVID being COVID and kids being in Africa. So kids' books will go, not that one, that's special to me. Some of these things will go when my son comes home, because they're children's books and things like that. But everything else is tidy. I have an empty box. Whoops, that one's empty. That's my sort of files, because I don't have a filing cabinet, so that's the extent of my files. That's something that will go to my sons. It's all their photos and things from school, so they can keep those. And this is it's almost not empty, but it's a wee memory box of things for me. And I've just got various stationery things here, but all of these are done. Right. That's also things that belong to somebody else. Cards. I have enough cards to last me for the rest of my life. What's down here? Oh, general storage of old diaries and things. That's just requirement. I've got some extra things, more stationery. These are all now tidy. Wait, this is the big one. I actually tidied all the batteries. Why do I have so many? I have barely anything that requires batteries. Don't know, but at least now they're sorted out. And I will never ever buy another anything ever again in the stationery department. What else have I got in here? Oh, empty notebooks. Don't need any of those for a while. And cables, cords and other things. And I have kind of sorted them. So they are things that at some point I could use, or somebody else could. And I know you're not meant to keep those, but sorry, I'm spinning you around. Don't want to make you dizzy. And what's down here? Yes, stuff that can go. Those baskets can go. The arch lever files, lots recycling. Some is rubbish. Most of it's just straight into the recycling. A little bit of plastic here and there. Some batteries that have to go into that, the special recycling. And or disposal, I think it's probably a bit optimistic to say recycling. And yeah, so look, it's tidy. I know what's there. Everything is in a place. And once I put all of this away, it will actually start to look slightly better. So the floor is clear, the recycling is out, and this is tidy. And that, for me, is a really good start. I know everything that's in there. I know where everything is. It's terrific. I hope that gave you a wee bit of motivation. It motivated me, which is, I'm sorry to say, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? Gee, folks, watch my video because it motivates me to get things done, but it does. And just sorting it out, being out, I haven't done it. Look, I know everybody did it in COVID. I didn't. I did for some things, but I didn't for this. I was a bit paralysed during our lockdowns. There's no doubt about that. I hope that whatever you're doing, you're having a lovely day. Come along and join me for part 2, 3, 25. It's looking like it, isn't it? It's going to take 3 swipes just to get through this room, I think, at this rate. Still, as I said, this is my Monica's closet. This is the one that's going to take the most time. It is the place that everything goes when it doesn't have a home, and you know, I'm the first to say everything has to have a home, and everything else does. Take care, have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. I hope you're safe and well. Subscribe if you want to come along for a bit more fun, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.